What it do, y'all? We back with another vid, back to back vids actually.
Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and hit it right off the bat. We're gonna go ahead and jump into our next topic, and that'll be comfortably speaking confidently. And
Mm.
this could just speak into any situation. For example, if you're in college or if you're in high school, I know how teachers be. They always make you want to do speeches. They always make you want to stand up and talk in front of the whole class. No one likes doing that. I promise you. There's not one person unless you're like really just in like an outgoing and you're even when you're outgoing and you're the very talkative kid. Whenever it's a presentation and you got to stand up and present something to people, it's different. You get nervous, your hands start shaking as soon as you're holding the paper trying to read the words. You forget what line you're on, then you got to start you got to start just making shit up. I get it. I've been there multiple times. But that's what we're here to talk about. We're just going to go through our experiences with y'all, give out a little bit of advice. And first, I want to go ahead and ask y'all what y'all think about public speaking.
So public speaking, me personally, y'all have known me a while. It takes quite a bit. I mean, Chris can attest to this. It takes quite a bit for me to get embarrassed, at least like in public in front of people. Because for the most part, I don't really care how people view me. In a sense, like I mean, obviously the people that I'm close with, like I do care. But with public speaking, I feel like it's a very vulnerable thing, public speaking, because like how you were talking about whether it was like class presentations or like anything like that, like not only is it like you in front of the class and like people that you know and like your peers and everything like that who, you know, you somewhat care about their opinion of you, it's also a vulnerable like area because it's something that you worked on. You know, it's not just like something random. It's something like you took time out of your day to, work on and you grinded, stayed up late doing it, whatever. And I feel like people get so caught up in their head about how other people are going to feel about it, and then that gets in their way from them being able to actually do it to their fullest potential. And I think that public speaking comes down to you've got to be okay with not being able to please everybody, because at the end of the day you're never going to be able to, and you just got to really make sure that you're just going to make yourself proud at the end of the day, because what everybody thinks of you while they're watching you um give your speech, or just talking in public, whatever it is, whatever it may be, if you're so focused on the views of other people, that is going to completely mess up everything that you were working for, preparing for, and is probably just going to end up making you tank. And I think public speaking is a great thing. I love public speaking personally. I liked doing it. I liked what I obviously have had bad experiences with it, but it all comes with you just having to get in the mindset of it's not like whenever you're doing it, it's not going to be pleasing everybody. And I think that once you get to that point where you're not focusing on anybody but yourself and the hard work that you've put in, then that's going to be whenever you actually see the good result that you want to from whatever it is that you are talking about.
And I'll kind of pick off of what you said. As much as it is, you want to please everybody. Of course, you want to. You don't want anybody to have negative views on you. But with public speaking, another factor that plays into maybe why you might be nervous or why you just don't want to do it is you're scared to embarrass yourself. You're scared to say the wrong thing and or stutter or anything really. And you're scared that you'll be like you're gonna get embarrassed by it. I for one never really liked public speaking. I was every time I had a speech in class, I was always nervous. Like I don't really know how I overcame it or not overcame it, but in the moment overcame it. Um, but your palms get sweaty, your heart starts racing because you just don't want to mess up. But that's the
I can
thing.
see the lyrics going through Ethan's head. I saw him thinking about it. My bad. Keep going though.
I, I'm lost. But
You said,
Clip
you
farm,
said,
clip farm.
you said,
No,
you
no, no.
said
We're not
palms
gonna
get
explain it. No, 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 no. We're not gonna explain it. Keep
okay,
going.
okay. So basically, you're just scared to embarrass yourself. Now, me for one, like I said, never liked public speaking. Now, it wasn't thanks to this man, Tyler. This man always been a G. Always been so good at public speaking. And I'm like, bro, how do you do it? And he hit me with the information that I carry to this day, even in college when I had to take a public speaking class, carried it. I don't have a problem with public speaking. I don't have a problem with talking to a higher up, like a boss or a manager or someone of higher power than me, because you're just at the end of the day, you've got to think that they're just a normal person. Like not necessarily a normal person. The ranks are different. Sure, when you're talking to your boss, he's your boss, you're an employee. Sure. But at the end of the day, they're a human being. Just as much as you make mistakes when you talk or you make mistakes in your daily life, they do as well. So instead of talking or thinking that you're an employee talking to your boss, think of it, you're an employee or not an employee, you're a person talking to another person. If you stutter, it's okay. Just brush it off. And another thing that this man Tyler does, or at least at high school, I don't know if he still does it, but he would embarrass himself. He would embarrass himself. That way it gets the fear completely out of the window. Like that fear of embarrassing yourself is not there because you've already done it. Or you could just crack a joke, get everyone to laugh. That way you know that they're paying attention. You know that you have their full attention. And from there, it's a piece of cake. Like it is you can confidently speak about anything. Or even if you're not confident, fake it. Sound confident. And whatever you're talking about, as long as you sound confident, people are going to listen. Now, you may be totally wrong, but people probably won't even have the guts to tell you that you're wrong in a crowd of people. Every so often, sure. But if you're giving a speech in school or anything in general, like make yourself sound confident, even if you're not confident. Nobody's going to question it. So yeah, you just when you're talking to a crowd or like I said, like your boss or something, just you're talking to people. You're not talking to your classmates, you're not talking to your boss, you're not talking to your manager, you're talking to people. As much as you make mistakes, as much as you stutter, nobody's perfect. They're not perfect. You're not perfect either. So use that to your advantage. Don't see that as a disadvantage.
I love that.
Um
I love that too. I love that he brought that up because I wouldn't have even brought that up, to be honest with y'all. But now thinking about it, let me sort of do backtracking. Y'all gonna get a little Ty lore, by the way. Y'all are lucky. There's a lot
Tyler.
of people that don't know a lot about this Ty lore. Of course, single child growing up, and actually just very very isolated by myself. I'd obviously be home late. My mom would work late night shift, not late night shifts, but she'd work late, so she wouldn't be home till like maybe few hours or a couple hours or so after I got home from school. So I'd have all this time to myself. And whenever you're isolated as a kid, I wouldn't even say fully isolated, but just when you don't have that outward connection or just that connection that a lot of kids really get, you get so forced into a hole that you don't really know how to interact with people. I learned how to interact with people through YouTube, through watching my favorite YouTubers, through watching people growing up. And it's kind of, it made me go through like an identity crisis a while back because I was realizing, I was like, wow, every part about me is something that I cultivated in order to talk to other people. So it made me fumble amongst my mind if I was really who I was or if I was just who I was making myself out to be. But at the end of the day, it's who I am because it's who I am. It's me. At the end of the day, I'm the one doing the things. So it's not about having a false sense of identity. But whenever you learn those things, like he said, embarrassing yourself or just doing dumb shit, we would go around to teachers in our school, and whenever we get caught being somewhere we weren't supposed to be, they'd be like, What's y'all's name?" I straight up tell them I'm Jason Todd. Ain't nobody know who Jason Todd is, bro. If you know who Jason Todd is, bro, drop a W in the chat. But regardless, dude, it because whenever you get embarrassed for the first time, it's kind of like a fight or flight response. And I'm not talking about like a little slight embarrassment. I'm talking about embarrassment that just ooh, you know what I'm saying? For example, we're gonna drop some more Ty lore. There was a time, yeah, it was during a final. It was during a final. Very, very quiet in the classroom. Your boy done pooted. No, I didn't shit myself or anything like that, but I farted. And y'all know how it is. Y'all know how it is. Little kids hear a fart in the middle of a time when they gotta be quiet, bro. Dog. Dog, I felt so ashamed. I felt embarrassed. I felt ashamed. I wanted to go home. I wanted to cry. I was in what? I say finals, but it was really just big ass tests that we take in elementary
Star
school.
test
What
or what?
Star test?
Star
Star
test,
test. I
yeah,
forgot what they
Star
were
test.
called. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes. So I took it during the STAR test, y'all. So mind y'all, if y'all don't know what the STAR test is in Texas, it's a standardized test you got to take when you're in elementary school, like third, fourth, fifth grade, right? Something like that. Around those
All the
ages.
way up, all the way in high
All the
school.
way up to all the way up through like your junior year.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. I
Yeah.
totally forgot about that. Yeah. But
Mhm.
anyways, y'all, this happened in like fifth grade, fourth or fifth grade, where I did this and I felt so embarrassed, bro. Like the whole class is laughing at you. You know, you just farted. At this moment, in my life, it was either I execute or I become fart nigga or fart boy. You know what I mean? That's what people gonna call me. Oh, you're fart boy. You farted during the STAR test. You say people wouldn't talk about it like that, but people obviously would. People were like that back then. If you didn't know, then obviously you probably were homeschooled or something. Don't lie to me. But I stood up. Middle of the STAR test. I forgot I was taking a test, bro. I just knew that in this moment I had to lock in. I said, hey, can I go change? I said, hey, can I go change? And everybody just started laughing 10 times harder. And the teacher even let out a little smirk, but then got mad because you have to act all professional and shit. But
Mhm.
I didn't care that I got in trouble for making a disruption during the STAR test. I cared about the fact that while something totally embarrassing happened to me, I realized, hold on, you could flip it. The world, you gotta learn. Everybody is a person. Same as Chris was saying, there's different ranks in life, but everybody's a person. And once you realize that every person, their brain kind of works in the same sort of ways. We're all different. We all think different things. Don't twist my words with what I'm actually meaning. Our brains think different things, but we're all humans, so we're all very predictable. And there are some people, the average few, that won't fall into the majority. But I promise y'all, if y'all are scared about, bless you, if y'all are scared about talking to people, and this could go for either talking to a big group of people, giving a presentation, or talking to your boss, as Chris was saying, because regardless if you think they're the same or not, you could be like, oh, they're not the same. They basically are. You just feel intimidated by the presence in front of you. That's what it is. It doesn't matter about how many people, it's the presence. You're intimidated by the presence in front of you. Same as how, like, you could talk obviously in front of one random person, maybe, but not in front of your boss because of his presence. But once you learn basic psychology, and I'm not even trying to tell you, go be a psychology major. You don't got to become a psychiatrist. You don't got to do anything like that. But once you just learn, oh, wait, they might be thinking how I'm thinking right now. Let me try this. Boom. Because most times, 9 times out of 10, no matter what you say, it's going to work. Main fear of doing it is, like they said, you don't want to say the wrong thing. Is being miseducated. You don't want to be miseducated and say the wrong thing because you have a slight fear that someone out there knows the right thing. I promise you, whatever you're giving a presentation over, that was your presentation. If someone out there in the crowd really knows more about your presentation than you, okay, Billy Badass, get up here on stage and help me out. You know what I mean? Like, there's not going to be anyone who's going to straight up tell you, bro, your ass. You know what I'm saying? If you go to a stand-up comedy night, maybe. Don't do that. Don't do that if you're not ready to talk. But as for a regular presentation, you're good, bro. You're good. So just take your time. That's the first thing I will say. When you are talking in front of people, take your time. There's a lot of times that people in a moment of high anxiety, everything is heightened and everything is rushed. You know what I mean? So you could be here, you're talking like 90 miles a minute. You could be saying this, that, and the third, and you say so much that even if you knew what you were going to say, you're going to fumble. You're going to stutter. and then you forget everything you were gonna say. And
Mhm.
then after you stutter, you're like, shit, shit. And then you don't remember what you just said because you just got clouded by everything. And now you're sitting there, like I said before, hands shaking. You can't even read your note cards. And then you're getting mad. And then you start feeling the overwhelming presence in front of you. You feel like everyone knows that you're fucking up. And you hate that feeling. And it sucks because y'all know if you've been in this position, the only thing that feeling does, it feels like an elephant sits on your shoulders. You feel like you're just stuck. You can't say nothing. And then even if you are able to muster up the courage to say the last little words in your presentation, I'm trying to replicate it, but you start having a quaky voice. And
Mm-hmm.
if
Yeah.
y'all are in college, you better hope y'all don't have a strict teacher. You better hope you don't have a strict teacher because they will call you out. They're gonna be like, "What'd you say?" you gotta do that little cough to try and like get your voice,
Mm-hmm.
bro. It sucks. It sucks. So let me just try and say it. This video, if y'all are watching this before y'all have a speech to give, if y'all are watching this before y'all gotta go and talk to your boss to find out if you're fired because you were caught on your phone mid shift, I get it. But this vid ain't really gonna help you. This vid is more so to get you ready for the recovery. You know what I mean? It's kind of like knowing you're gonna get in a car wreck. You know, like damn, it's gonna happen, but you just got to get ready for what's coming after. You can't stop what's happening to you. It's sad, but at the same time, you just gotta you gotta know that some things are meant to happen, and being embarrassed publicly while speaking is just one of them. It's something that's gonna happen, and it's never not gonna be that way.
Mm-hmm. Real talk. And I feel like also with that, like in just public speaking in general, like as far as like advice, like that I could give, just breathe. Just breathe. Like it is not gonna be the end of the world because you're speaking to a group of people, because like in our public speaking class, I don't know if y'all got the same statistic read to y'all or whatever, but it was like there are some people that are more scared of public speaking than death,
No,
which is a crazy statistic.
they lying.
How
They're lying.
it was crazy. Like public speaking is really not that deep. Like, yes, it is, but it is a lot more of a smooth thing if you can just breathe and just do anything to calm your nerves. Like Ty was saying with that shaky voice, I think anybody for their first serious presentation is gonna have that voice. I had it. I'm sure both of them had it.
Yep.
Like, and I think if you can, like I'm gonna say, like that's like that's my biggest advice for anybody with public speaking is just breathe and just give yourself a moment to just kind of not push those nerves down, but be ready to, if you do fuck up, bounce back. It's it's nothing to be ashamed about or like get super in your head about if you mess up, you know what I'm saying? So just breathe and then bounce back if anything happens, and then I think that'll be, I think that's like about the best advice that I could give, really.
Yeah, you just gotta. You can't be afraid to mess up, and you've got to start somewhere. So of course, jumping into just a speech is going to be difficult for any first timer. You gotta even if it takes starting off small. Like you could think of having confidence to speak is not just a term to describe public speaking, like or speaking in front of a crowd or giving a speech. You may just have anxiety speaking with other people, but in life you're going to have to. Like unless you're just going to be the dude that sits at home or be the person that orders everything and gets it shipped to their house and has an online job where you have to have no human interaction, you are always going to have human interaction. That goes from talking to the store clerk at checkout at Walmart or your waiter or waitress when they come to take your food order, or you go through the drive-through, you're always going to have that human interaction. And it could just be as small as seeing a stranger at the store or on the sidewalk and, you know, hey, how are you? Or even smile at them. Like, it's all interaction, and starting off like that can give you the confidence to speak in front of more and more people. Or you have to go meet your girlfriend's or boyfriend's parents for the first time. Like, you gonna fold? You gonna choke? Or, you know, you gonna push through it? And we've all had that experience. We're all going to have that experience. Uh, and it's just something you got to power through. You know, I was nervous when I had to do it, but I had to do it. Um, you know, I'm sure Tyler and Ethan were nervous when they had to do it, but you just got to do it. You don't want to be the dude that sits on their couch and they question everything about you because you're quiet. Like, of course, you don't want to overtalk. You don't want to overtalk with anything. But you know, you want to be able to speak comfortably. And you could start with siblings, like spark up a conversation with your siblings. Like, even if you don't talk to your siblings, spark up a conversation with your friends. um like, it's always good to practice. So the best way to practice, if you're practicing for a speech or anything, speak in front of a mirror. As like talking to yourself, you it helps. It really does. I used to do that, but then I got into interaction with other people. I talked to my coworkers. Uh, I chatted up with my girlfriend's parents. I chatted up with the friends. Chatted up with family at family events, and even family that I don't even know that well. Like, see how they're doing, see what they're doing, how life is going, what they do in life. Like, there's all kinds of topics that you can talk about with people, your boss. Like, even talking about that with your boss, like, it gets you out there, it gets you known. Now, if that's not your thing, if that's not your cup of tea, getting known, getting out there, that's totally okay. But connection, human interaction it's amazing if you know how to do it. And it's good to start sooner than later. Just like anything in life, you want to start sooner than later. So that's where I'll leave it off. Any of
Alright.
y'all gonna pick up on that?
Yeah, I'll
I mean,
say
I think
my bad.
here I'll just go real quick. I was just gonna say, like, just kind of wrapping the whole kind of thing up. Like, at least from my perspective, I think the biggest takeaway is from what Chris was saying earlier about, like, it's just people. We're all people. Um, you know, Making different connections with different people is honestly a gift, being able to do that. And I think if you can just kind of get past the fear of everybody else's judgment, then you're going to open yourself up a lot more to, you know, kind of seeing the other perspectives of how people view you, but not like from a bad state, because like if you're
Yeah.
overthinking it in a bad way, then obviously you're going to be too much in your head about it. But once you get to that point, just breathe, and then you're good.
Agreed.
Hell yeah. Last things I'll leave y'all with is something I meant to mention earlier, but in most cases, unless you have been trained to do so, mentally trained to do so, knowledge is almost always overshadowed by anxiety. This could be in moments needed. You know what I mean? Say bank robbers come into a bank. Bank robbers, bank tellers, the workers at the bank know the protocol. But in the moment of this happening, they're too scared to do anything. So it most likely always happens anyway. Correct? So with that being said, it's always gonna be that way. You know what I mean? Unless you really train yourself. So in my case, saying you're always gonna be anxious when you're talking publicly. However, the more you do it, the better you'll get at it, and then the easier things will get. And I do want to say just this thing as well. I'm sorry for making this video really long, but I do want to put this out there for those of y'all women out there who get talked to in ways they don't like. Men out there who are being suppressed as well. Like, bro, pick your voice up, and you gotta overshadow that, because you're always gonna be stepped on. It's sad, but there are people out there who are too scared to speak up for themselves. It's way deeper. It's way deeper than just public speaking. It's not just about giving a presentation to a class. It's about making a statement to a police officer when you got to let them know that your significant other is, we're not going to say it, but DV, or you're not going to know what to do whenever you're put up in a situation and you got to talk to the police. But say, for example, if I was to talk to them and I'd be very anxious, I'd be very erratic, sporadic, moving around too much. Y'all already know what could happen. I don't have to spell it out for y'all. Y'all know the implications that I'm sad to say it, but having a high anxiety can put your life at risk in many ways. And all you can do is prepare for it. You can't stop it. If there's someone that's ever gonna assault you, or someone who's ever gonna talk down to you, someone who's ever gonna treat you the wrong way, there's ever a time you gotta give a speech, there's ever a time you gotta talk to a police officer, talk to your boss, you gotta face it headstrong. I know you're scared. I know you're nervous, but you gotta know, if you get, I'm gonna just say it outright, if you get bitched, you get absolutely bitched, people are gonna continuously do it. If you talk to your boss and you're cowering in fear and you can't even muster to get the words out of your throat, he is not gonna respect you as a worker. He's gonna know, he's gonna be able to shit on you. He's gonna be able to tell you whenever it's not even your shift, hey, come in and work this shift, and you just gotta be like, oh, yes, sir. You gotta get your voice back. You gotta get your voice back. You can be a man of little words and speak when it's most needed. But that's
I
all
agree.
you need. That's all you need. Just know that if you're ever in a situation where you're too anxious and you don't know what to say, keep it minimal. Don't feel the need to explain yourself on why you didn't talk too much. Say what you need to say and then relax. Say what you need to say, breathe, calm down, and then realize that it's not that bad. I believe in y'all. We believe in y'all. We know you can do this. If y'all have any topics, leave them down in the comments below. We'll catch y'all later.
Peace. Later.